dust and chains. The midday sun beat down like a branding iron on the town of Redstone. It was auction day, a cruel ritual dressed in civility. Livestock, tools, abandoned goods, and sometimes people. Marshal Thorne stood on the edge of the crowd, arms crossed, his wide-brimmed hat casting a long shadow. He hated this part of town. But today, something had drawn him here. Maybe it was guilt. Or maybe it was justice, raw and unpolished. A wiry auctioneer with a sunburnt face shouted names and numbers. Two figures stood on the wooden platform beside him, a pale, dirt-streaked woman and a thin, hollow-eyed child. The woman clutched her swollen belly protectively. Next up, one able-bodied widow, expecting, and her boy, 4 years old. No debts owed. Packaged together. Bid starts at $5. Laughter murmured through the crowd. "She don't talk much," someone jeered. "Don't need to talk to clean stables," another spat. Thorne stepped forward. $10, he said, loud enough for silence to fall. The auctioneer blinked. We got 10. Do I hear 12? No one answered. Nobody wanted the burden of another man's wife and her unborn child. The gavel dropped. Sold to the marshal. Chapter 2. A Town That Watched. They watched him, the whole town. Watched as Marshal Thorne walked the widow and her boy past the saloons and stables and into the old ranch house just outside Redstone. It had stood empty for years, his father's house and his before him. Inside, Thorne set a bowl of water on the table. "You can sit," he said. "Name's Eli Thorne." The woman nodded. Her lips parted, but no sound came. She touched her throat. "She don't speak?" he asked gently. The boy, wide-eyed and clutching his mother's skirt, finally answered. "She don't talk since Pa died. Shot tryin' to protect us." Eli nodded. "You got a name, son?" "Micah. Mama's name is Ruth." Eli stood. "This ain't charity. You'll earn your keep if you can, but you're safe here. Ain't no man layin' a hand on you while I live." The boy nodded. Ruth looked up, tears glistening, and mouthed 2 words, "Thank you." Chapter 3. Winter Breaks the Week. By winter, the gossip had turned to scandal. "Marshall's gone soft," they whispered. "Playing house with a mute woman and a brat." Eli didn't care. Ruth cleaned the house with quiet grace. She never asked for anything, never complained. Micah followed Eli like a shadow, helping with the horses, learning to shoot with a rifle half his size. When the baby came, it was a girl. They named her Hope. And for the first time in years, Eli Thorne smiled like a man who believed in something more than dust and bullets. Then came trouble. A gang rode into town, Barker's Raiders, 6 rifles strong. Outlaws that the marshal's badge had never yet dared provoke. They started with the bank. Burned half of it. Shot the owner's son in the street. The townsfolk turned to Eli. "You're the law." But he just looked at them hard. "You only call me law when you need blood spilled." Still, Eli cleaned his rifle that night. Left Ruth and the children in the cellar with food and blankets. Chapter 4. 6 Graves in the Snow. They came at dawn. The air was white with frost, and the sun rose red. Eli stood in the middle of the street, coat flapping like a banner, rifle slung across his back, revolver in hand. Barker spat. "Ain't no law here no more. You can't stop us, old man." Eli drew his revolver and shot the man next to Barker before the outlaw could even blink. The street erupted in fire and smoke. Eli moved like a spirit of vengeance, years of war and pain carved into every step. 3 fell in seconds. 1 tried to run. Didn't make it past the livery. When the smoke cleared, Eli stood among 6 bodies. His coat torn, blood soaking through his shirt, but alive. The town stared. Ruth and Micah ran to him. Ruth, for the first time, screamed, not in fear, but in relief. She had found her voice. Chapter 5. What He Built. Word spread fast. Redstone was no longer a town to bully. The name Eli Thorne carried weight again, not as a killer, but as a protector. Ruth healed. So did Micah. So did the town. Eli rebuilt the ranch, added a schoolhouse, a chapel, even hired an old doctor to live nearby. More folks moved in. Widows, orphans, runaways, people the West had chewed up and spit out. Eli welcomed them all. He'd once been a soldier, then a lawman. Now he was something else, a builder of second chances.